Well, welcome to another one of my short how-to videos in Blackboard. And my goal is to keep these short, under 10 minutes, attention span issues, right? And so if I speak too fast, I apologize, but you can go back and look at them again. By the way, these are recorded. I think I mentioned this in Camtasia. And you can record these in Camtasia, do the screen capture, and then you can upload it to Kaltura Media. So there's no interference with Kaltura Media, which appears to be working better now. You could also use YouTube if you want. The closed captioning is not as good on YouTube. If you need closed captioning, by the way, you need to get a hold of Michael Phillips in the IT office, all right? So that said, I'm sticking to this idea that online higher education is going to change, right? It's been changing, okay? And it's not going all internet. Even though I'm an all internet instructor, I don't want that, all right? My best students are my returning adults, okay? I think I've said this, single mom with 3 kids who's a closer at Pizza Hut. She's my best student, all right? Your average 18, 19-year-old really needs a face-to-face classroom still. They're still out of high school, and they need you to be there to I like to say just whack them with a wet noodle. Okay, I don't really mean that, obviously. But that said, I can see a hybrid format coming along more. You're going to get a lot more students from high schools wanting dual credit. You're going to see that happening, a lot of that. And I'd like to say this, that I have a lot of excellent writers who are high school students, so don't fear that, okay? I'm very impressed with Indiana high schools. We raised 3 kids there too, and they've all done very, very well. It's small Indiana high schools, North Manchester. So that said, I can see some things going, all of you, all of us, using more of this internet, using more Blackboard, using more Lightroom, Brightspace coming up, okay? Because some things are just much easier. You can do discussions ahead of time. It's a terrific tool. If you want classroom discussions, you can assign a reading a couple of days before and get some discussion going on Blackboard or Brightspace. Get them thinking about it, make sure they did the reading, and then when they come to class, they can be more heavily engaged. They got some ideas to talk about, all right? Then you have the whole idea of turning the paperless classroom. You have the whole idea of assessments online. So that's what I want to talk about today, making grading, making assessing easier, okay? Maybe better, maybe more effective. It's not a question of making it easier, but this is very time consuming. So this week I'm up to date on my grading. This is one class I'm teaching. It's English, used to be called W131. So I have a student who's already turned in something ahead of time. And by the way, you find all this stuff, all right, don't forget, in your grade center, and it's under needs grading. That's pretty cool, okay. So let's click on Kyla's, all right, and I'm not going to actually grade it here, but I just want to use this as an example of some of the things you can do. Okay, this is really neat. You've got the plagiarism software if you've activated it, and Safe Assign is not my favorite, but you've got that if you need it, okay? And once again, when you do your assignments, you have to activate Safe Assign. It's way down near the bottom someplace. And then you also have to make sure that if you're using rubrics, that the student can actually see the rubric, okay? You have to, I don't understand it, but there's several check-off boxes you have to do, and one of them says, let student see the rubric. Why wouldn't you want the student to see it? I don't know. So I'm not a software engineer. So one of the really neat things, so here's my rubric, and I went over that earlier this week, okay, for these learning journals. But what's really cool is, let me show you this feature right here. Click there, feedback to learner, and I think I mentioned that the other day, but wow, that lets you create audio files, and particularly in discussions. And I really feel that you should have graded discussions, not ungraded discussions. And don't do them as threads. Do a discussion for each separate topic, and that way you can grade each one separately. If it's all just one big thread for everything, it doesn't work well. So have a discussion for each topic, discussion for week 1, new discussion for week 2, that kind of a thing, all right? So when you're ready to grade the discussions or grade, in this case, an assignment, you can click here and create an entire audio file. And there's no uploading. It takes care of itself right here. So you can actually talk to your students. They can hear you. They can sense your voice. They can sense your presence. And it's a lot easier to talk than it is to type all this stuff out. I type with terrible typos. It's really, really unfortunate. Then another excellent feature is this. This is the insert file. And one of the things I have is I have a complete collection, a folder on my computer of the Purdue OWL. I've downloaded the actual files that I need from Purdue OWL instead of having a link. I've actually downloaded them as PDF files and I save them. And that way, so if I have a student with a writing issue, I teach writing classes, so I have lots of writing issues. Let's say a citing issue, I can send them the file that Purdue has already covered on how to do in-text citations. That's so much easier than me having to type out, the period comes after the parentheses come after the quotation, and blah, 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 all right? So I have this whole collection of help files, and I'll show them to you. So you click there, browse your computer. Where do I have it? I think I have it in document, English help files. So look what I have here. Let me alphabetize it. I have active voice versus passive voice. I have how to do author tags, right? I have avoiding rhetorical questions. You get a lot of students who want to do topic sentences questions, right? Block quotes, that's often commonly misunderstood. Examples of citations all the way down. And I've done quite a few of my own lectures here. I have paragraphing, how to do paragraphs. I have thesis statements from Purdue. I have quoting from myself from Purdue that I wrote. So I have a variety. Mostly it's Purdue OWL. And rather than having the web links, which change all the time, by the way, you cannot count on stable links for most of these sites. So, and this is all open source information, all right? There's no copyright provisions. And I also use other writing centers too. Purdue, of course, has the most elaborate one and one of the best, but there are other ones that are very good too. UNC is excellent. Mine went blank. Wisconsin. At Madison, all right, a wonderful writing center. So you can look for special issues that you need particularly, and I recommend just going to the print function, printing them as PDF files, putting them in a folder someplace, and then as you either type out your comments, I don't need to show you how to do that, you'll figure that out. As you either type out your comments or do them audio, you can say, by the way, you're having a little trouble with some of your paragraphs aren't real focused. I'd like to see a better focus, better topic sentences. Here is a help file, and then I attach it rather than trying to explain the whole thing over and over again to students. This is laborious. So I'm suggesting make yourself a collection of help files or email me, and I'll upload them in a folder to OneDrive and make it access to you. And it can be a lot of fun. It can save things. And I get good feedback from students. You can't always tell if they're reading them, just like you can't tell for sure that they're reading your comments. But at least you've made the effort to continue teaching these students. So hey, I hope this is helpful. I enjoy doing this. I keep coming up with ideas. It's maybe my last one for a while. So we'll see. Thank you.